Warning, listening to this podcast could result in spending or saving large amounts of money. Listener discretion advised.
Strap in for a wildly unqualified adventure with two overly opinionated collectors, armed with good intentions and questionable expertise, as they stumble through a galaxy of toys and collectibles, pretending to know it all, where every figure has a story and every opinion is a showdown. Welcome to Across the Toyverse.
Last time on Across the Toyverse Z, the two chums almost came to blows when Mark declared Kevin Costner to be the best all-around Robin Hood, while Scott maintained that the cartoon fox from the animated Disney film is the one true Robin Hood.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Across the Toyverse. I love the energy in that intro.
You don't watch Dragon Ball Z, so you don't get it. But
Get it.
anybody listening to this who's a Dragon Ball Z fan, hopefully that was for you. Hopefully you appreciated it.
No, I love it, and it's true. We also didn't take we also didn't hear any from the Robin Hood Men in Tights crew, because I know that they also have a strong feeling about who is
That crew rolls deep. They need to
do.
They need to say something in these comments. Let's hear it.
Let's hear argue.
Barry Elway's your Robin Hood. Is he the one?
Yeah, I always hear. I've never even seen that movie.
Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Never seen it.
Oh my God. All right, let's turn this off. Let's watch that right now.
Okay. All right. But no, we did talk about last week how we had so much fun recording the play sets and vehicles episode that when we were done, we wrapped up, you were like, I've got so much more to say. We should do a part 2.
Yeah, I had taken notes on stuff I wanted to talk about. We didn't get to it. The podcast just kind of stretched on, and we were having a lot of fun talking about it, and it was bringing up a lot of memories. And yeah, so I just thought let's do it again. Let's double dip and let's cover some stuff we didn't cover last time, and more modern stuff, because we mostly talked about, a lot of vintage things that we grew up with.
Right.
But there's a lot of cool new stuff out. So
right, we never really got into the new stuff, even though a majority of new stuff I had out on the table to talk about. We just never got around to it.
Yeah.
And that's great. So yeah, and then that also led to us inadvertently doing a second, like a part 2 to our Versus on Instagram as well.
Yeah. By the time you hear this, it'll have wrapped. But we did do SH Figure Arts, movie Deadpool versus movie Wolverine, and there was a winner. I guess we don't know yet. But we're still right now posing those. I'm posing Deadpool. Mark's posing Wolverine, and the first week we did it, I stayed up late Sunday night and went ahead and shot all my pictures, and there was like not a single blow thrown on my side. It was just all Deadpool messing around. And so I said, let's let this one play out, and then we'll do a part 2 where we'll actually fight. And Mark was down with it.
For sure.
Your favorite line is, "We make the rules."
That's right. We make the rules. Anytime you ask me, you're like, can we do this? I'm like, dude, we make the rules. Like, of course we can do it.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys check us out on Instagram and weigh in on our figure posing, and help us feel like we're real people out here in this.
Yeah.
In these streets.
Well, we did have a winner. You did win by I believe like 3 votes. It was really close.
Oh, in week 1?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, it was super close.
It was super close. Like but you pulled it out. And of course, I mean, like it's you and Deadpool. He's your favorite character, and like you even cosplay as Deadpool. So like you're in that Deadpool headspace. And so like when you get into character, like I get it. Like it's a lot. It was hard for me. The only thing that I kind of balked at was that I was like, dang, like this Wolverine doesn't have a lot of like accessories. Like he doesn't come with like an unmasked head. He doesn't come with like the sleeveless arms,
right?
So I was like, I really just have either claws popped or claws not popped.
Yeah, dude, it's only $100. What do you expect?
I know, right?
You expect accessories when all you're paying is $100. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm really hoping
that 2 heads. Come on, man.
Yeah, for the Mayfax, like I know we're getting like the the maskless version and the masked version. I don't know yet if we'll get the
bare arm.
bare arms. I don't know. Like
What? Why are they stringing us out like this? Like it seems like the only one that's gotten it right is like Hot Toys gave us is giving us the sleeves and non-sleeve.
everything in one package.
Yeah, all in one
You know,
package.
because by the time we get the Mafex one, the movie will have been out 3 years.
Right.
So it's not like they're like, oh, well, we didn't know because all we had was like some preliminary scenes that they showed us.
We
like,
weren't sure what you guys wanted, so we didn't know how are we supposed to know?
yeah, my dog is going to continue to get closer and closer till she licks your teeth. That's her
No.
goal. That is her goal.
Not my teeth.
She will do it.
Yeah.
And my other dog's about to use your bag as a pillow.
Yes.
She's like, I'll sit on it. I don't care. She does not care at all. I think that's a good place to end our intro. Why don't we take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive into our weekly pickups.
Yeah.
And we are back. I was just in the break telling you how much I really like the energy of that intro, man.
Thanks.
We need to do that every episode needs an intro like that.
And we'll see what happens.
But let's get into our pickups for the week. What did you bring to talk about?
Well, I happen to have gotten a few things this past week. The hard to say what I'm most excited for. The Playmates Ninja Turtles Godzilla crossover figures are hitting stores, and I picked up Rodan Raphael, and then you got me Godzilla Leonardo, and I'm super excited for those because Ninja Turtles and Godzilla are my two favorite things about the planet Earth. Is that it has Ninja Turtles and it has Godzilla, and so that crossover is like a foregone conclusion. I'm buying those, and they're $16 a piece. Can't go wrong. They look amazing. I'm super happy with how this Raphael has turned out. I've played with him a little bit, and his wings, like the articulation on the wings, isn't hindered. It's awesome.
Yeah, they made some pretty smart decisions for what somebody could argue would be like a throwaway crossover. I mean, this isn't like a mainline Raphael release. This is just like, hey, here's one of our crossovers that may or may not interest you.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people online, even in turtle spaces, talking about like, I don't really care about Godzilla. I'm not going to get these, and I'm just so I get it. I get that it's not for everybody.
It's super specific.
Right. It was like I saw it and I was like, they finally got around to like core Scott Peavy.
They figured it out. And of all the times that you could have lived on this planet, in the history of mankind, you happen to live in a moment when both of those.
I didn't miss it, and it came around just in time for my 46th birthday. So I'm super happy about that. I also went ahead and pulled the trigger on the Jada Wave 1 Scooby Doo figures. I kind of went back and forth on whether or not I was going to get Mystery Inc. because I have a few Mystery Inc. figures, but they're not in the right scale. So I did eventually decide I was going to go ahead and get Shaggy also. I'm basically all in on these because they're amazing. They just showed up a couple of days ago. I brought them. And you check them out. You see the articulation. They got some like soft rubber pieces to allow for good range of articulation. They couple of pairs of hands, couple of heads, maybe one or two other things depending on who you got. And like these are great, man. I'm super happy about these guys. So
they are
looking forward to the rest of them coming out.
I am hijacking that for my pickup. I did not pick them up. You have picked them up, but you brought them for me to check out, and I am definitely going to pick them up because what I love most about Scooby Doo is I love the monsters. I love the villains.
I have a bunch of the old ones that I've been collecting over time, and so when these came out, I was like, well, I'm getting the monsters. I'm getting the bad guys for sure. But go ahead.
I mean, anything. I love old school like monsters, like the old school monster design. So like I'm terrible with names, but like the Phantom Diver, I think, the one that's got the diving helmet, he's got moss and seaweed hanging. Like I want that guy so bad. And then
they just previewed him at NYCC and it's great.
I want him. And I think they have the the robot from like the Ferris wheel, like the
Yeah.
amusement park episode, where he's like running around operating all the machines. Yeah, that robot that gets out of control. Like I want all of them. Give me all of the villains. I'm not as enamored with Shaggy, and from what I've seen, Daphne so far. I will probably get Scooby Doo, because how do you not get Scooby Doo?
Sure.
But the fact that they come with the unmasked villains,
Yeah.
heads is
Not only
just
that, but
the mask,
with the mask being pulled off of the creeper, and then the bandages being pulled off of the mummy,
unwrapping, yeah.
unwrapping off the mummy, like that's fantastic. That gives you so much room to do some like really specific scene play on your shelf or in
Right.
photography. Like, yeah. Like whoever thought of that, whoever said let's mold the mask being stretched off of this guy's head. Like,
Yeah.
incredible.
I guess I do have to have some of the humans to pull that off, or at least maybe Scooby, like put it in his mouth, like he's biting and pulling the mask off.
Sure.
But they look incredible. I love Jada. Like anything Jada touches. Like
Yeah.
I just got charged for my Mr. Frosty the Snowman figure, the one from the old,
Yeah.
I forgot what that guy's name was, that made the old claymation, like stop motion animation.
Oh, the Rankin Bass one.
Rankin and Bass.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. The old like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty. So I just got that from. I mean, I knew I was a Jada stan when they showed off the Kellogg's
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger, and I got excited. And I was like, Tony the Tiger was not on my bingo card list as most anticipated
Yeah.
year of 2025.
This year has been wild with releases.
Right.
And stuff that I could not have predicted. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who saw Ninja Turtles and Godzilla coming?
Right.
As somebody who is a diehard fan of both, like I don't even think that's something that you thought would ever even happen.
Yeah. And Ninja Turtles is like the cranberries of IP. Like it gets mixed with everything. They get
Right.
crossed over with anything. And so
I'm gonna put you on the spot. What is the wildest thing that you could think to mash up with Ninja Turtles that could actually happen?
that could actually happen.
Yeah.
Ooh. Shoot. That could actually happen. Ninja Turtles Scooby Doo. That could actually happen, and that would be incredible. I would love to see a Fred Leonardo and a Michelangelo Shaggy. Like that's right off the bat, those two for sure. Velma Donatello. And so I guess Raph would be Daphne, and then Splinter could be Scooby Doo,
Would be Raffney. Come on.
which is how Scooby says his name.
Yes.
So
Oh my God.
wow.
Yeah.
That's now if that doesn't happen, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if it doesn't happen. Like that's too perfect.
Well, that's the way fanboys operate. Is they get really upset on things that they thought was going to happen that nobody ever promised them.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's me. Yeah, I get mad all the time that
That's Star Wars fans.
they're not doing what I want them to do.
Yeah, that's totally Star Wars fans in a nutshell. We're totally angry about a thing that was never promised.
Shit that we made up.
I would let's see. It seems like this has probably happened before, but since remaining with Jada, what if Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter, has that happened before? It seems like that's happened.
No, that was Karate Kid. I said yes for a second. Yeah, they did a Ninja Turtles Karate Kid crossover.
Oh yeah.
Which why? But okay. But yeah, Ninja Turtles Street Fighter hasn't happened. They have both have had fighting games, so it easily could happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Or maybe like Ninja Turtles and like modern day monsters like Freddy and Jason,
I know I'm gonna butcher the name.
Chucky.
Ahimo Adventures on Instagram is a designer. He's like an artist.
Right.
He's done designs for like Michael Myers and Freddy for sure.
As Ninja
As
Turtles.
Turtles.
Oh wow.
And then I have a shirt that I got from. Oh man, I wish I could remember the artist's name, but from a website this artist did that was the Turtles as Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and Leatherface. And I think I have all the pins also.
Yeah.
Um,
Because even though those are like
that's like-
R-rated movies, like
Right.
they have somehow seeped into like
Yeah.
pop culture
Yeah.
and the lexicon, even in childish like kiddie ways. Like
My
even
7-year-old daughter knows all those characters. It's
Right.
okay. I haven't watched any of the movies.
right, exactly. Nicholas, my 12-year-old son, has never seen any of those movies, but he has T-shirts and socks and Like he loves Pennywise and
merch, yeah.
yeah, he loves just the merch. He just loves
Yeah.
horror merch. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm a co-opt one of your pickups because I did just get in like the whole new wave and out here on the table. I have Halloween Boy, the whole new wave of well, not the whole new wave, but a lot of the new releases for Operation Monster Force from Big Bad Toy Store. They finally got those out.
Yeah, he looks great. And I have the first issue of the comic book that I got from the TikTok shop a while back just as a random, I got an ad and then the art looked cool. And it was like, this guy was like, hey, buy my comic. And I was like, you know what? I will. And so I ordered it. So then when I saw that there was an action figure for him and you were ordering the action figure, I was like, oh, that's Halloween Boy. That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was like an IP outside of their.
Yeah. How weird is that?
stuff.
Like they just threw it in with Monster Force.
But I love his design. It's such an odd, like the head shape, the helmet is so odd. And I don't know the story, so I don't know the deal with the flaming sword he comes with. But I
You would
mean,
like the comic. You,
oh man, I love it. I just love that design. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
yeah, he's cool.
But yeah, I did just recently get those. That's the only one I opened up, and I only opened it because you were coming, and I know you were excited about that figure.
Well, thanks. I guess I'll play with it a little more since you said
Yeah, for sure. So, did you have anything else about your pickups you wanted to talk about?
I don't want to stretch on too long, but I also have the Black Hole Toys Gogeta, the blue one, which I was super excited about because I watched a lot of reviews for this figure in particular. Because it's hard to tell. It's a third party company. Um, SH Figure Arts has a Gogeta, but it's on the 2.0 body, so it's an old, outdated body. I don't like it. And so I saw this Black Hole Toys one, and it looks awesome. And they did regular blonde Super Saiyan, and then they did Super Saiyan Blue. And so between the two, I couldn't decide which one I wanted. And I just watched a bunch of reviews. Eventually, I decided on the blue. But also, I wanted to make sure people were like happy with how all the articulation works because he has those big shoulder pads and stuff. And man, every single review I read was people just glazing this figure, talking about how amazing it is, how it's like peak Dragon Ball, like fun and posability and stuff. And so eventually I pulled the trigger on it because I missed out on the original order where I would have had, it cost me a little bit more this way because I had to get it on AliExpress, but well worth it. It is a great figure. He has two different looks. He's got the powered down base look with the black hair, and then he has the blue hair. Tons of hands, tons of posability, two different color vests. And because it's Black Hole Toys and they sell their figures to look like it's another figure that comes with these extra parts. It also comes with this like angry monk head and then wrapped fists. So you can put those potentially on another figure and make a whole, like it's such a cool package that,
There's value there.
there's a lot of value there. Yeah. It wasn't cheap, but also I feel like I got my money's worth because it's been a lot of fun to pose. He holds poses. I mean, it's better than SHF. It's better than what they're giving us, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing now about third party and like knockoff figures is their quality is getting ridiculously good.
The past couple of years in particular, I've paid a lot more attention to third party figures and just small up and coming companies, and they're getting better while the big boys are figuring out ways to give us less. And it's becoming very obvious that like
Right.
Hasbro, McFarlane, all these other companies are trying to figure out how to get more money out of us for less product, while these other third-party companies are trying to hit us with, here's a ton of accessories, and here's what. So you didn't like the joints on the last one? Well, we tighten them up on this one, and like,
Right.
I have another Black Hole Toys. I have two other Black Hole Toys figures, and each release is better than the last.
Yeah.
And so this one is peak. This one is great, and so I don't know where they go from here, but yeah, they're killing it, man. They're killing the game with these third party toys right now.
All right. Well, I hope that satisfies you guys with your pickup information. What are you guys picking? What have you picked up recently? What are you loving? Let us know.
Yeah, what should we check out?
Yeah, exactly. Give us some ideas and some things that we should check out. And I guess we should also mention, I probably should have mentioned this at the top of the show. This is like the biggest news is, thanks to our good friend Jeff, our podcast is now everywhere that you get podcasts. So if you'd like to listen on Spotify or Apple Music or Google Play, we're there. And thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah.
To doing that. You're just broadening the audience. You're getting it out there in front of more people. And I really appreciate it. Of course, Scott does too. So thank you for that. So let us know either on the comments for this video, wherever. We'll try to keep track of all of the comments, and let us know what's something that we should pick up and pay attention to that's coming up either, before the end of the year or potentially early in 2026. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into part 2 of Playsets and Vehicles. All right. And we are back with part 2 of, Playsets and Vehicles, bringing it into the modern times. So I'm gonna let you kick it off. You have a lot of notes about this, so let's bring the Playsets conversation into modern day.
All right. Just before we do that, there was one thing I really wanted to discuss from last time in particular. The Ghostbusters, the whole thing with the Ghostbusters and why the cartoon was called The Real Ghostbusters is because there was a Ghostbusters that predated Venkman and Egon and all that. About the two guys with the gorilla named Tracy. There was an old black and white live action TV show. I don't remember watching that, but I was aware of it. And it had a cartoon spinoff that was just called Ghostbusters.
Right.
It was two dudes in pilots uniform.
Yeah.
I believe.
They drove around a buggy.
They drove around in a jalopy. Yeah. And the jalopy was like sentient and it had this little cool little fun ghost. I had that jalopy.
Yeah.
And it could transform from a jalopy into and it had wings and then replace the face and it would be like an airplane face and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I had that and I thought it was so cool because it had all these like parts that you could move around and stuff. And it was just a fun, I think, I had the Ghostbusters also with Tracy the gorilla, and I used Tracy the gorilla in lots of other play. Like it would show up with my Ninja Turtles and stuff.
Did that show, that old black and white show, it predated the 80s movies?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's safe to say that it's possible the 80s movies took their name from...
That's what I believe. I never looked that up, but
Right.
I felt like no one was doing anything with that IP. It's a cool name. They just said, we'll be Ghostbusters because nobody's using that name anymore.
Gotcha.
And that's what it seems like, but I never looked into it. It just became lore in my head,
Right. Yeah.
automatic headcanon over years. But yeah, I had that jalopy. I thought that was super cool. And and I did have a bunch of the Ninja Turtles, like the sewer lair at the Cheapskate. I had the Turtle Cycle, and some of those I still have, or I've gotten like a new one, or I've gotten an old one again, as an adult. But a few years ago, this was the big get for me, was I never had the Technodrome. And then a few years ago, my brother-in-law saw his neighbor taking stuff out to the trash, and he set down a complete Technodrome. I didn't have all the parts, but I mean, the big pieces were all there. It was the full body. Of course, the eyeball on top was missing, and so that was like a major loss. But otherwise, it was the Technodrome.
Right.
And he just started up a conversation with his friend, and he doesn't collect them. This guy was just getting rid of stuff, and my brother-in-law doesn't collect them. And he was just like, "You're just throwing that away?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, you want it?" And he goes, "Well, I think I might know somebody who does." And he knows I love Ninja Turtles and collect toys, so he sent me a picture of the original Technodrome. And I don't know, this was maybe 7 years ago, something like that. And he was like, "Hey, you want this?" And dude, I was like floored. I almost burst into tears. Like, yeah, ever since I was a kid, I wanted that.
Oh my gosh.
So he gave me the Technodrome. It's in really good shape. Again, missing a lot of pieces, but it had some. But I had to have the eye. And so I sourced on eBay over the course of, several days, few weeks maybe, like what I thought was like a good deal for a decently condition. It didn't have to be perfect because the rest of the Technodrome wasn't perfect. Right. I ended up paying like $50, maybe plus shipping, for just the eye. Yeah. And it was the best deal that I could like reason, for just the eye to go on top. But when you think about it, if just the eye cost that, then if you were to like buy the whole original vintage Technodrome, it would be even more. So I had the base already, and I was like, there's no way I'm not putting the eye on it. So So now I have an original Technodrome from when I was a kid, which I never had when I was a kid. I always wanted one, and it's like one of the jewels of my collection is that Technodrome that I got.
I keep playing around with buying the new one from Playmates, even though I know it's scaled down a little bit. It's not exactly the same size and it's a little smaller, but I mean, it's gotten down to like $28 on
That's
Amazon.
That's
which is
super cool, man.
easy.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm happy that they did a re-release of a version of it, just so people who didn't get the original and aren't going to go spend that kind of money on one can have one in their
Right.
collection. I think that's cool. I want people to have what they want. I see that, you see that online in toy groups a lot of times. People get upset when they do reissues. It's me.
Yeah.
You're only upset because you have an original and you're hoping it's going to increase in value,
Right.
which is sort of secondary to toy collecting. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Do you want the thing or do you not want the thing?
And it's not hurting your thing. It's still going to be stamped 2025, or whenever
Right.
it was manufactured. Like
Yeah.
it's not, nobody's going to mistake it for an original.
Yeah.
I was just looking up while you were talking about that. I was looking up, did the movie, the 80s Ghostbusters movie, steal that name from the show? And they didn't. They actually licensed
Okay.
the name directly from, at the time, Filmation had bought the rights from the show, and Filmation, the old TV show, Filmation bought the rights to make the cartoon. And so they were trying it, but the cartoon, I think they said it was based on an old black and white TV show that only had 15 episodes. But it's not big. It didn't have a big presence.
Right. I remember that. I remember it was not widely known, not, particularly well.
Right. And so they made the
Guarded.
cartoon, but then when the movie came out, they licensed the name, like Bill Murray or whoever it was it Harold Ramis, and Dan Aykroyd wrote the originals.
Ivan Reitman.
Or Ivan Reitman, yeah. Wrote the original screenplay. So he and the Paramount people negotiated a deal for $600,000 for the name to license the rights and a portion of the proceeds of the film.
That's
which I'm sure they're still getting residuals from that. But no, they did officially license it. But then when the movie took off, it became a big hit. Of course, they want to make their own cartoon, but how do you differentiate it from and that's where we got the real Ghostbusters.
That was what made me look into it, was the fact that it had real in the name. And then, I mean, I knew about the other cartoon anyway, but
see, in my head canon, what I thought was the other way around. I thought the cartoon was so popular, the movie came out first.
Oh, I see.
The cartoon was so popular that this other company tried to, like, in my mind, like, make a cartoon, but they had to make it different. But then the other one changed its name to Real to differentiate it. But yeah, that never happened. It's the other way around.
Yeah, that's funny.
See, I learned something every day.
Learn something every couple of weeks or so. Yeah. So now bringing us into modern era, play sets and vehicles. I have a lot of just backdrops from like diorama prints. That's one of my favorite go-tos for just a good backdrop when I'm doing my photography. I just need something in the background to just look legit when I tweak the settings on my phone or whatever. And so I like diorama prints. They look.
You turned me on to them. I never had one before.
Yeah,
I saw what
they look great. They have a nice matte finish, and if you get your lighting right, and like I said, tweak some of the stuff, tweak some of the details and stuff, they look three-dimensional. They look awesome.
I just bought my first Extreme set.
Extreme sets is another one. Yeah.
I think I got there was one that I was looking at. I actually wanted something that was not sci-fi. I wanted something, but that's, anyway, I have a lot of sci-fi stuff and I knew that would work. So I found something that was like on sale. I want to say it was like $75, marked down from 100, something like that.
They're pricey, but
they're very pricey, but you get a lot. Like, it's not like diorama prints. It's not flat. Like, it is three-dimensional. They have opening doors. They have stairs.
I bought a used interior, like rundown hotel or something, and so I think it's got most of the pieces. So because I wanted to like dip my toe in, and I got this for like $25 or something on Mercari a while back. And so it comes with a lot of cool looking pieces. I haven't figured out how to put it all together yet. But the Extreme sets is cool. Every time, here's what'll happen is I'll go, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy an Extreme sets, and I'll go and I'll look and I'll pick, out like 2 and I can't decide between the 2, but I'm not dropping $150 or however much with two things. And so then I'll go over to diorama prints and I'll go, damn, for $80 I get like 3 sets, you know? And so then I'll just end up ordering from diorama prints.
Or even further, I go, well, that's $80 that I, or maybe I could just buy some, 2 more figures. And so I end up buying figures and not backgrounds. But
That all
but I had to force myself to like, I'm going to do this. I broke it up into like, using, like Sezzle or something. I broke up into like 4 payments, and 4 payments of 20 something dollars is a lot easier to swallow than $80 on cardboard.
Yes, it is. And then I use a lot of like, dollhouse furniture and stuff that I get from Michael's.
So you're kind of like into making your own scenes, like your own.
I do a lot of that for my photography. But then there's like I did get the NECA street diorama, the 3-level NECA street dior, because I think I found it on sale somewhere. Anyway, the price had dropped. That's right, the price had come down pretty good. I don't remember now how much it was, but I ended up getting that, and I don't use it in photography. Like, it's just a display base.
Right.
It's just, it holds whatever Ninja Turtles and whoever else, I just needed a home for. And it was always intended to be for photography, and I just haven't done anything.
I've seen the new one that Ramen Toy is doing.
Oh yeah,
Their modular
the
underground.
modular one.
And I saw the movie.
I'm not getting that.
Yes, I saw the movie at OIC, and that thing is massive.
Yeah.
Like, you would need something the size of my coffee table to display that thing.
I don't have the room.
It has that room.
Yeah, I don't have the room. It's too much money to drop on something that I'm gonna have to force into my house. There's no way.
Exactly.
And let's see. McFarlane, we talked briefly about last time. He's doing some for the 3 and what are hers 3 3/4 inch, the
superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing some for that, but also for the Batman 66. I have the Batmobile and I have the Wayne Manor Library, which is a great little like office diorama for lots of uses. And then I have the Villain's Lair, which I haven't really used. But
those are nice. They're like a mixture of like cardboard pieces and like plastic things, and they're
not bad
to them. Right.
The scale is off. They're not 6-inch scale. Because I think it was Mattel did a Batman 66 line 10 or 12 years ago, and one of them came with the Bat computer and like some pieces. And so I dug those up because I got the McFarlane Batman 66 Batcave, and man, the old Mattel like computer, like twice the size of all the stuff. Like the Batman 66 ones don't, like they did come out for these 6-inch figures, but they do not look like they're like the Bat computer comes up to like his waist. He's punched out.
They're not. Yeah, the retro figures that McFarlane's doing is not. They're not like 7-inch scale. They're more like 5 3/4 inch. They're not quite 6 inches either.
Oh, okay.
But I tell you what, they're perfect for superpowers. Like,
yes,
you put those.
So those,
oh my god,
yeah, those backgrounds work perfect for superpowers.
Yeah, they're like 4-inch figures. They're spot on.
Yeah,
that's why I bought that set from you, was so that I could put it with my superpower.
Right, and it looks great. Like it looks perfect for that. So
yeah, even though I'm trying to like fudge an 80s toy line into like a 1950s aesthetic, but it doesn't matter. It's simple. It's bright colors.
I'll take it. It looks great, and it's it's spacious.
Yeah,
for all those figures. Yeah, it looks great. And then the only other one I could think of that I have recently that's like a newer is Mezco 5 points. They put out 3 3/4 inch 5 points of articulation figures, and a lot of times they'll have like a set that'll come with, like they have the Batman 66 Batcave, which I bought. I bought it off a local guy, and I ended up selling it without ever having set it up because it was just so much. It's big, and it was way bigger than I thought.
Yeah. Did that big monster.
And so I do have the monster, the Tower of Terror.
Nice.
There was like 5 Universal monsters. It was like their redesigns on these Universal monsters. And then what was cool about it was putting it together. It was this cardboard 2-story tower, front and back, so you can display it either way, with like different levels and different accessories and stuff. And it was Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, Wolfman, Creature from Black Lagoon, and Mummy. That's right. Yeah.
Or Hunchback?
No, Mummy.
Okay.
And I got that, and it was missing the Frankenstein's lab table, which Mezco knew about and later would like send it out. So I did end up getting it. But once I had it all set up, that was the most fun part, was like putting all the pieces together. It made me feel like a kid again,
Yep.
assembling a play set, and I had it all set up and I put it on my shelf. But again, it's two sides, and I was like, well, I want to see the other side. I feel like I'm only getting half the value out of it but I'm not going to keep turning it, because then all the figures fall. I got to move
Put it on a lazy Susan.
it. Yeah.
Turn that thing around every day.
What I did was I put it on my shelf in the garage, and that's where it's set up.
Oh, nice. I've seen that at some toy shows. It's considerably marked down, and I've only bought it a few times. But
It's
I'm
cool.
glad I didn't.
It's cool, but mostly it's the figures. Yeah, mostly it's just the figures are super cool. And then there was a Pink Skull's Chaos Club set, the Mezco 5 points, and they came with a little like backstage like hangout room slash I think alleyway, and you could flip it around. There's an alleyway on the other side, and I have that too, and that's really cool. Oh, and then Superman. There was the Max Fleischer Superman versus the Mechanical Monster. I have that, which is another one I'm gonna sell, just because it's so it takes up too much space for me.
Haven't they done a pre-order for one for Doc Nocturnal?
Yes,
Because that's the one that comes with the car, right? Like,
it's supposed to come with
five
the
PO.
car and the little Woodford the frog, and like it's supposed to come with all that stuff.
That looks
I was
cool.
I was super into it, but I was like, I'm already kind of like,
how am I going to display this?
yeah, I'm already just selling all those other ones, and I'm keeping the Tower of Terror one just because I put it together. But I sold the Batman. I sold I'm selling the Superman. I'm just like, I'm not gonna get the Doc Nocturnal one. But they are super cool. Like for adult collectors, it takes up for me a lot of space. But if you imagine like if those were like 6-inch or 7-inch figures, it would be huge. So these are 5-inch figure scale, little play sets, cardboard, so they're affordable. It's like under $100 for most of them, and it comes with figures and the set, and like
Yeah.
that,
And the
if you
fact
got
that
the
the cardboard doesn't even bother me, because
Right.
so many play sets were cardboard when
Yeah.
we were kids.
Yeah.
Like the very first G.I. Joe play set was offered from Sears and Roebuck, and it was a missile launch room, and it's all cardboard.
That's cool.
And then they switched over to like hard plastic after that, but they did have one. Almost all of the play sets for the first movie of Star Wars, A New Hope, were all cardboard play sets, Death
Yeah.
Star, and had some plastic. I mean, it was a mixture of like plastic and
Right.
cardboard, and then eventually they went full plastic. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either, because like in the end, I'm not taking it outside and getting it all dirty and roughed up and playing with it. It's just
right.
it's just to make my figures pop,
Yeah.
And so you can be kind of cheap on that and use cardboard and just have like a print on it. And yeah, I mean that's totally fine.
I mean, you were making shit out of styrofoam. Let's say cardboard. That was a step up.
Right. In a way.
In a way.
Can't stick guns in the cardboard as well. They should they should make styrofoam play sets.
Where would they ship them in?
Ship them in another styrofoam play set to
Exactly.
keep it safe.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there are a couple of companies that are killing it today as far as like modern playsets go. Mattel is one of them. They kicked things off with, of course, when they were doing He-Man, they have to do Castle Grayskull. Of course they did. And then they decided to do Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
Since then, they crowdfunded Planet Eternia, or the Castle of Eternia, which
You
is...
keep saying Planet Eternia.
I don't remember how they labeled it on. I don't know if they called it Planet Eternia or if they called it the Eternia playset. I'm not sure what they called it. But I did that because I always wanted the original when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now that thing is like stupid pricey. Like it's up there, along with the USS flag. But I did do their Fright Zone. I love that. They're killing it when it comes to like play sets.
This is super cool.
Right now they're getting into some weird ones that I'm just not going to get. I think they've created one called not Snake Mountain, but it's like the snake, like King Hiss's lair, or the Hiss lair or something like that. They've made up something that I don't think was a real playset. I,
You just gotta have more.
yeah, if you got to have more, but that makes me very happy knowing that Mattel is like open to play sets, like big, large scale plastic play sets,
Yeah.
because they are getting the DC license. We can maybe work that in a little bit. We were talking about it off of not off camera, but before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about how McFarlane sort of like at New York Comic Con kind of spilled the beans that yes, they are losing what seems to be everything at the end of 2026. He's like, we're still trying to negotiate with Warner Brothers, consumer products division to see if there's, I think the way he put it was to see if we can still have our fingerprint on something.
Yeah.
But it does seem
Give him
with the
statues, man. That's what he does best.
yeah, exactly.
statues.
I would prefer if he kept the superpowers line. That'd be great. I want to see that continue. But if he doesn't, I really hope Mattel picks it up and runs with it because I want more superpowers. That's the only thing I'm sad about with McFarlane losing it.
Mm.
But it does sound like by his own words that he is losing the full license. Like whatever Mattel is doing, they must be doing something in the 6 or 7 inch range for him to be losing it. So Mattel is crushing it.
He's easy to read. He has no poker face.
Yeah.
Whenever you see a Todd McFarlane,
Yeah. He does try to play coy, and he was trying to play coy with his answer, but he was kind of upfront. He's like, yeah, we're losing it at the end of 2026.
Yeah.
December is what he said. So they'll have product coming out through December of 2026. Sure, there may be some overlap, but Mattel's doing really good at it. Super 7, like they made a massive playset with the Snake's Lair before, or Snake Mountain, when they were still doing the classics. It was like the last big thing they did with He-Man Classics was they did a crowdfund for Snake's Lair or the Snake Mountain, and it's this massive playset. I never backed it because I just didn't have the space. And I still don't have the space.
Yeah.
But then they went on to do the Thunder Tank, which was this massive 6-inch scale, like 2 scale vehicle. And they're making a second one. Like the first one was like based on the cartoon art, and now this one is based on the toy color. So it's the same exact mold, but it's coming in a different colorway. It's like more towards the color of the original toy.
Oh yeah.
Like the LJN toys, they've done that with their sculpts. They made
the
Lion-O.
reaction figures too.
Yeah. They did Lion-O in like his regular colors, like cartoon colors, and then they did the LJN toy colors.
That's cool, especially if you know up front that they're gonna do both colorways.
And I'm fine with that because a lot of times, like I'm more of a fan of the toys that came out of something than I am of the original. Like cartoon. A good example is Super 7 was doing toy versions of Ninja Turtles. Like I have more of a soft spot in my heart for the original toys for Ninja Turtles than I did the original cartoon.
Yeah.
Same way with the real Ghostbusters. I'm more of a fan of the cartoon than I am of the live action movie. I don't know, there's some weird things like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have 2 versions of Lion-O. One that looks like the toy, one looks like the, if that's how you're going to do it.
There's a place for it. I wanted to geek out about this for a second since you brought up the Ninja Turtles original toys.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about those is that there was the comic, and then the comic got optioned for a cartoon. And then they said, we want to have toys come out at the same time as the cartoon, ahead of the cartoon. The toys had to be designed. And the people designing the toys saw the comic, but there was no cartoon yet to base the toys on, but they were supposed to match to this cartoon. So that's why the toys came out and they don't look like the comic or the cartoon. They are their own thing. They look like their own, and stuff just isn't done that way anymore.
Right.
Like this line of action figures came out and they're sort of their own universe in a way. They're sort of their own, there's the comic and then there was the 80s cartoon. And then somewhere in between is this line of action figures. It's a little of each, but not either one specifically.
Right.
And so with the toys, and they started like coming up with all these different mutants and all these different versions, and they would like sculpt entire creatures onto them, like the surfing Michelangelo had like a stingray on him and a octopus and stuff. And like that, it seems like something that would bother me, but it didn't. I liked that there was like extra stuff on them,
Right.
But I always thought that was cool that like the line of that was why the figures didn't look like the cartoon that they were supposed to be based on. And when you find out like, oh, it was just so they could have the two out at the same time, and the people designing them were like, well, we did our best, like
Right.
and it's such a huge piece of my childhood that like
Mhm.
I appreciate how odd and motivated by money that was, but it came together in the most interesting way for
Right.
me, where it was like, why is this not match this? But it didn't make me hate it anymore. It made me love it more.
Right.
It's just
And something you've pointed out to me at being a long time or a lifetime Ninja Turtle fan is that Ninja Turtle seems to be one of those IPs that tries to reinvent itself like every 5 to 7 years.
yeah,
It has like a new creative team take
yeah.
over, and
They lean into it. They they embrace changing as time goes on
Yeah.
for the new fans, and I have come to love that. I
Yeah.
used to I'd be just like all the other angry people on the internet and just be like, "Oh, it's not my Ninja Turtles, and I have my favorite." But like, my favorite still exists. I can still go read my favorite comics. I can still go watch my favorite movie. This is someone else's favorite. This is
Right.
some new kid's favorite. And while we're on the subject, I have to say, if you haven't watched Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because it's not your Ninja Turtles, it's not the one you grew up on, get over it. Watch it. It is a great show. It is the best animated Ninja Turtles anything that I've ever seen. If you watch it and try to love it, if you watch it and like
Right.
accept what they're giving you.
Right. Right.
It is just well written. It's funny. It's genuinely funny. And then once they do get into like the fights, and by the end of season 2, it's like it's perfect.
Yeah.
It is such a great show.
I'm a huge Transformers fan, and I have such a love and nostalgia for the original cartoon, the
Yeah.
this cartoon. It's kind of hard, but Transformers tries to do that as well, like Ninja Turtles. They try to reinvent themselves every like 7 to 10 years. There's like a new
Yeah.
cartoon or whatever, and they're not hand animated anymore. It's all CG animated. It's all whatever computer models and stuff. So I still tried to get into them, but to me, like, nothing just really captures the magic, and it's not because those old cartoons are so much better, it's just that I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I loved, like,
Right.
the time that all
Right.
of that represented,
Yeah.
and so it's holistic. I'm looking back on that not just, um, in like a not like, what do they call it, a spyglass or a telescope. I'm not looking at just that cartoon, I'm looking at everything around it that I love, and all of that
You can't really separate it
right,
from
yeah.
your childhood and being
Exactly.
happy and stuff. So yeah, it's got a lot more to it than just a
Yeah.
cartoon show. Yeah, yeah.
But so, Mattel making large scale, um, play sets, clearly not having them in the retail space, not a problem. They
Yeah.
just sell them. They have an avenue for selling directly, through Mattel Creations.
Yeah.
Super 7, again, making large vehicles, large play sets with the Cat's Lair. Like I said before on the podcast, my buddy Brian got it. It came in 2 boxes. He was standing next to it, and they were almost as tall as he was. He's almost 6 feet tall, and, they were almost as tall as he was.
The
I think
thing
he could lean on it.
the
That's
thing's
how
impressive. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Shoulder height.
It's incredible. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I love that these companies are not shying away. Again, not needing to put them in retail space because you can't,
Right.
like I can't imagine going to a toy store and taking a flatbed back to the
Right.
Thundercat section and putting 2 boxes on it like I'm at Costco
Yeah.
and rolling up front and checking it out. Probably specialty in comic book stores may have one. You could go find one in. I've seen the Thunder Tank in a comic book store before. But yeah, like I love the fact that we still live, and then Ninja Turtles, like they're still not only are we getting like remakes of all the old stuff that already came back around, but they're making new play sets.
They're the new sewer layer
Yeah,
for
sewer
the
layer.
Mayhem. Yeah.
Yeah, so and I love it. And those are the ones that you'll probably find, in a Walmart or
Yeah.
a Target because those are geared towards kids. Those are birthday purchases,
Yes.
Christmas purchases. So they are going to make
Because
sure that those are
they're aimed at that target, that audience, because yeah, like I was talking about earlier, these Ninja Turtle, Godzilla, they're $16 a piece. The Ninja Turtle figures are like around the $10 to $15 range.
right.
And so the vehicles and play sets have kept that. They're trying to like corner that market because everything else is being advertised specifically to adults. Like they know we have the money, they know we have the nostalgia for this stuff.
Right.
But Turtles is trying to keep kids, and that's what I
Sure.
love about it. Um, yeah. Anyway,
What is an IP that if they made a playset, you would love to see them make a playset today.
I'm so glad you asked, because I was just about to say Jada could do a Scooby Doo haunted
That's
house.
exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, what if Jada made a haunted house? Just a generic
Yep.
haunted
The
house.
Scooby Doo, old style Scooby Doo design style, and just give me 2 levels, maybe, some swappable parts.
Gotta have some trapdoors in there.
Yep.
I want paintings with a little lever where I can move it.
Move the
eyes, move left and right. I want secret doors hidden behind
Some
armored knights.
a barrel where you can take off Scooby or Shaggy's head and stick it in the top of the barrel like they're inside it.
And you could push a lever, maybe it goes down the eye, like they're hiding in there. I want some sound effects. I want that.
I do want some sound effects on this.
Like the little sound that they would make when they would run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want some sound. I'm usually against sound effects with my toys these days as an adult, because I'm like, I'm paying extra money for something I'm not going to use. But the Scooby Doo, you give me some of those old school sound effects. I do want that.
Creaking doors, a coffin, a chandelier that falls.
They could have stuff like a coffin with a character coming out of it, and it doesn't have to be a whole figure. It could just be like part of the figure popping out. Just give me extra something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you pack in like a figure that's an exclusive ghost or something, or what?
A generic ghost figure that they weren't going to make a figure for anyway. Package it. Jada, if you're listening, you got two sales for sure right here.
Dude, I think
you can sell 2 of them at least.
Exactly. Yeah. Charge what you want. You're going to sell 2. I think Jada's leaving money on the table if they don't do this.
Yeah.
Like I want that so freaking bad.
Look at what they're like. They obviously plan on taking this Scooby Doo thing for a little while, because they have these 3, no Scooby Doo yet.
Right.
And the ones they premiered at NYCC still didn't have Scooby Doo. It was 2 more villains and Daphne.
Right.
So like they obviously are planning on giving us several villains.
So by that alone, we're getting at least 5 waves of these figures for them just
if they're doing one
Scooby gang.
If they're doing
Scooby-Doo.
they're doing 1 Mystery Inc. per wave. We're getting 5 waves. They have to be planning on giving us a mystery machine, it seems like, which I already have a couple of mystery machines that I could use.
That would be kind of cool.
But a Jada mystery machine, as long as it's reasonably priced, I'd probably get that too.
Just this morning, we saw Joy Toy put out pictures of their
the
turtle van, which looks dope.
So cool. I'm not getting those, but it does look really good.
Yeah. I like it when their 1/18 scale stuff skews a little more 6-inch. Like I was showing off like that particular that Space Marine that I have down there. That's from the Space Marines 2 video game. It's 1/18 scale, but those guys are taller, they're bigger. So like that's almost like a true 6-inch scale figure. It's like actually 6 inches.
And with the turtles, you can kind of fudge the height a little bit with different figures. So for sure.
All right. Did we cover it? Did we work through everything that you wanted to talk about with playsets and vehicles?
I think we finally did it. I think
all right.
I think we hit all the vintage stuff, as much of the new stuff as we could think of. We talked future possibilities with Jada and Scooby Doo. So yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Well, I
will
think
not be a part 3.
It will not for a while. So you guys let us know in the comments of this video, or even just shoot us a message on Instagram and let us know what was some of your favorite playsets from when you were a kid. Were you building stuff out of styrofoam like Scott and I were? Were you making your own? What do you want? What is a playset that a new company, a new IP could put out that you would be like, I'm dropping money on that? I'm sure.
I'm interested in hearing what are some new possibilities that people would pick up, because we might get to see something new happen.
And then even then, maybe we can come back and revisit it for a 3rd time. So let's take a break right here. And when we come back, we'll wrap up the show with our Love It and Hate It. And we are back for probably our most talked about and most looked forward to, anticipated, that's a better word, let's use some English language, segment of the show, which is Love It and Hate It. What are we loving? What are we hating in the world of action figures this week. What are you loving? We always like to start off with what we're loving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm loving that there's lots of third. I think I've talked about this before, but just lots of like third party and up and coming companies putting stuff out that I feel like in a lot of ways are starting to outshine a lot of the big boys, like not just Hasbro and McFarlane and like those names, but even SHF, SH Figure Arts, and Mafex. They're starting to get kind of left behind by some of these other companies. Like InArt has that new Batman that people are loving. I had it on pre-order. I ultimately decided not to get it because the Christian Bale Batman just isn't one I have to have. But
Right.
um,
There's another company too. I forgot what it's called. but
LPZZ,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they are
right? And so
working it out.
even though the price is a little more currently,
Mm-hmm.
I see it kind of stabilizing potentially around what it is right now, as they get better and just get more widely well known. But yeah, people are even me, like I'm about to honestly, I'm looking at like some of my SHF and just going like, I'm having a lot more fun with a lot of these like third party companies and stuff, that I'm starting to reevaluate some of my just stuff
Right.
I never thought I would consider just selling because I don't really, it doesn't interest me anymore. But like, yeah,
I just got the CT Toys, or I don't know if it's Mess Toys now, but I just got the CT Toys black and gray version of the Hush Batman. That figure is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Now I have the original Mafex gray and blue Batman,
right.
and he's phenomenal. Now they feel very similar. They both move buttery smooth. The Mafex, the joints don't squeak, whereas the CT Toys
Yeah.
black and gray, mine is very squeaky when
Yeah,
you move
mine
it.
too.
It squeaks a lot. But other than that, I mean, I agree. I'm starting to look at things like the Mafex, the recolored comic version of Gambit. It's like, do I want to spend $130 on that? Or I could probably just get the $30 CT Toys version of
Yeah.
Gambit. Like, it's just as good. And so, yeah, I agree. Like, there are some times when I'm like, sometimes you're going to see a release that comes along. You're like, I'm buying that from Mafex. I don't care. Like, I'm grabbing that. But yeah, it makes me pause a lot of times when I see these new pre-orders pop up that I'm like,
Right.
I might.
There's some, now we're exaggerating a little when we say just as good. The CT Toys is not just as good, but they are getting better with each release. They're getting a little bit better. And that black and gray Batman is a really good figure. Mine, same thing, squeaky joints. I don't think I've had another issue with mine.
No, I have no. I mean, I put mine through the paces
Yeah.
the other night. I did a whole pose video. I think I did something like 22 poses.
Yeah.
I got, he moves.
Even the wired cape,
Great.
really nice.
The wire cape is incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they are the same quality. It is different. You can tell there's a difference in quality. Well, is there a $100 difference
Right.
in quality? I don't think so.
Yeah. No,
Like,
not at all.
it is cutting that cost
Yeah.
down considerably to where you're like, I don't know. Like, cost is now a factor here. Like,
Yeah. And it's even to the point where Mess Toys, which I think is the offshoot of CT Toys, that they did the Black Suit Neighbor, which is the symbiote suit Spider-Man. They have just announced a Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech style Venom that's coming out, and they've shown some 3D renders for. And like, I'm looking at that going like, all right, cool. I'm not going to get the Mafex Venom that I've been kind of on my back burner for a while. I'm probably, like that's going to be my Venom, like that.
yeah.
Because that Black Suit Neighbor figure is incredible.
And they've put out 2 figures since. They put out the red and black Superior Spider-Man with extra arms that everybody seems to be gushing over.
Yeah.
And then the other red and black Spider-Man, I don't remember his name, but it's the one that's got the spikes that come out. I don't know. It's a rat.
Kane. No, it's Kane.
Kane.
Yeah.
Or is that it? Kane? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. Or yeah, I don't know. But he has the spikes. He's red and black. He has the spikes. That one just came out too. People are raving about that figure as well. Like, so they've now had 3 versions of the black suit Spider-Man out there. There's 2 other versions of it. So they're what am I trying to say? Iterating on that body, getting tolerances better. So yeah, by the time that Venom comes out,
Right.
heck yeah.
So yeah, that's that's something that I'm excited for in toys right now, is knowing that there are more options, because the big boys would have it so that there are no other options in stores available, and people don't buy in stores as much as they used to anyway. So if I'm already having to go online, I may as well be exploring some of these other options. And when you follow enough of the right, like, toy content creators, you see reviews for stuff while it's still on pre-order, while it's still available to order, and so you can kind of like make those decisions.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
absolutely.
I'm loving all these options.
For me, my love it this week is going to be all the retro love. Not just seeing the Jada Toys Scooby Doo figures, which I've put off for too long, and I now need to rectify that. But also the fact that I just, again, from Jada Toys, just got charged for my Frosty the Snowman. But there's several others. I mean, there's so many. This week, I got my hands on the Sea Spray on the Transformers with the red
Yeah,
card.
I saw you
I
review for
love
that.
like old school
That's cool.
Transformers. And so just seeing so much love being thrown to figures to make them look like they came out of the 80s, I'm loving that. Like
Yeah.
that's what, started my whole channel in the first place, is modern remakes of vintage toys
Yeah.
that I had from the 80s. So, I'm loving it. And there's just a lot out there right now. Almost too much.
Almost too much.
All right, hating it. What are we hating? I think I know what yours is, because you've
Yeah.
been pretty hot about this all week.
Yeah. Broadly speaking, I'm hating that toy companies, especially the big boys, don't seem to abide by any rules whatsoever. With regard to, like, how they release stuff, where they release it, how many, pricing, um, it just seems like they're just sort of doing whatever the hell they want. And in particular, though, my beef right now is with Mezco, because in August of last year, I pre-ordered the black and blue Nightwing, and I was on the fence about it because I just had gotten the Mayfex, and I was like, oh, if I need two Nightwings, but I really like Mezco, so I went ahead and I did pre-order the black and blue Nightwing. That was August of last year. It was supposed to have come out by now. Since then, they have released a black and red variant that has released. And I don't want the black and red. I want the blue and red, because that's the one I wanted. And then just this past weekend, by the time you're listening to this, it'll be a couple weeks ago, but at NYCC, they had on hand, they were selling to people who walked up, my black and blue Nightwing that I pre-ordered in August, and I haven't even gotten a shipping notice on yet. So they're not shipping them out, but they are taking them to New York City Comic Con and selling them. What is that? What are we doing? What is happening?
That's frustrating.
And the fact that
Yeah.
that they a long time ago abandoned having any kind of customer service. Like, they don't do customer service.
Right.
I did finally get someone to respond when I bought the Mezco Doc Ock, and I couldn't tell. I didn't notice that the octopus arms don't twist. You stick them in, and it's kind of squared off, so they don't twist. And I broke two of them immediately. Like, I just got the figure in, put the arms in, I'm trying to move them around. I feel that little wire snap in two of them. So I reached out to Mezco and I was like, hey, look, I assumed this moved the way that it obviously doesn't move. And so two of these have snapped. Can you,
I threw my slime in the dirt, and it got dirty. It did not bounce.
a la last episode? But I did get someone to respond, and they said, okay, send us some pictures and stuff. I sent pictures, and they said, all right, we'll send you out some replacements. It'll be 12 weeks. That's what he told me. It'll be 12 weeks. And that was a lie. I have not gotten those. It's been well more than 12 weeks, but I was like, that's long enough. 12 weeks is suspiciously long enough that you think I'm going to forget all about it, And so,
Yeah. Now, Mezco says they don't have customer service because they receive death threats, and they said that they're not
sure they do.
that they're not going to subject their employees to that. But
Rather than be a better company,
how about
we'll just not listen to the death threats anymore.
yeah, how about still have customer service though? Okay, like, come on.
Right.
Like, yes, there's going to be some stupid people out there who make death threats over toys, but come on, you still need a customer service department. It still has to happen. Yeah. I can tell you from experience that there are smaller companies out there who purposely don't do that sort of thing. I can think of 3 times this year where, companies like the Four Horsemen, Harbinger Studios, who puts out Savage Crucible, and then even Bobby Vallow with Valaverse has said, okay, we know that some of you pre-ordered these figures with us, but we're getting ready to go to a show. They just arrived in our warehouse and we don't have time to get them all shipped out to the people who pre-ordered before we go to a show. If you are coming to the show, would you like to have them available at the show? Which means that other people who did not pre-order them would also have the same ability to purchase these items at a show. Four Horsemen has decided they're not going to do that. They're like, nope, if you've pre-ordered, we're not going to sell anything to anybody until our pre-orders are shipped out. That's their stance. So they don't do that. But like the other two companies I have seen recently, they've asked on social media, they're like, let you guys decide. Do you want us to bring a small portion of these figures to shows and you can buy them? Or is that not right? Do you not want that? But, at least they're asking. Whereas like Mezco's like, nah, screw you guys.
Yeah.
You've been waiting on this figure. We're just going to go ahead and put it out.
Mesco doesn't ask. They don't tell. They just do whatever the hell they want.
Well, that's also weird too, that they put the red version out before the blue version. I remember they did this with the Gotham by Gaslight Batman. They pre-ordered. They pre-ordered that figure out. It was more than a year before that figure came out, but then they also like a few months later pre-ordered the Joker, and he was already available. It was like in stock.
Yeah.
It's like you bought it and they shipped it to you. And it's like,
wild.
Joker wasn't even in Gotham by Gaslight.
Right.
He's on a wanted poster, but he's not a part of that book at all. And they already had that figure ready to go. So I don't know. Maybe it was a situation where they're like, and they've done this before, right? Other companies have done this where they're like, we know people want the black and blue version, but let's put the black and red one out first.
Right.
So they'll buy it because they're anticipating it. And then they'll also double dip.
Yeah.
And then maybe they already had the red one, but they solicited the blue one first. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but yeah, who knows?
It didn't work on me. I wasn't going to buy, I don't want the red one. So I wasn't going to buy the red one just because it was available. I wanted the blue one, but if I see the red one come out, I'm thinking, well, the red one's literally coming. Got to be right around the corner. But that was months ago that the red one came out. Yeah. And then now I see people are buying and flipping online the blue one that I pre-ordered over a year ago, and it's infuriating.
Yeah,
it's like I love the product you put out. I want to love the company, but I can't. They won't let me. They won't let me love them.
You guys are like knowingly doing some pretty stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'll wrap up. My hated right now is that too many toy companies are shipping too much stuff right before the holidays. I know, like Hasbro specifically, Hasbro has probably shipped me more product in the last 3 weeks than Hasbro has shipped all year long. Like they have shipped so many Marvel Legend products, so many Star Wars Black Series products, and so many freaking G.I. Joes. It's ridiculous. Like, stop. I'm trying to go to Legion's Con in like 3 weeks. I need money for that. And they just every 2 or 3 days, something is hitting my bank account from Hasbro Pulse. And my wife is just like, why do you have all these Hasbro Pulse purchases? And I'm like, I'm going to have to stop. Like, I'm done. I'll just have to get some stuff later. I've literally been just like, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll just have to get it after Legion's Con and like just let stuff go because too much has come out. And I know I have a friend of mine that works in shipping, and he's like, he works in global shipping. And he was like, if these factories don't ship your stuff by September, like that's it. Like nothing is shipping after that before the holidays. You're not going to get it. Like anything that ships after September, they're like, that stuff's coming out in January and February. So I get it. Like they've gotten all this stuff in. They also need to move stuff so that they can get ready for the holidays. So they're shipping a lot out, but it's just been too much. I'm pretty sure. And like you now know, like we're going into our Targets now, and our Targets are filled with stuff, like brand new product. And our Targets have gone months with barely any new product. And now there's just a plethora of stuff to choose from. And I'm like, it's too much, it's too soon. Like it's too much all at one time. Like you guys should really spread this stuff out. But I don't know. It's feast or famine, right?
Yeah, that is how it feels. But it's usually the feast is, like you said, right before the holidays. And I want a lot of this stuff. I just can't. I have also a family. I have also stuff I got to do, and can't spend all my money on toys for myself. Like I was promised when I was a kid. Oh, when you grow up, you can spend all you
do what I want. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the episode. We have got it right here at the end where we typically do about an hour and 10, hour and 15, and we're right there. It's an hour and 7 minutes.
Hey, nice.
It's a great episode. What are we doing next time? We don't know. We'll figure that out in the next week or so. But what you can look forward to is you can look forward to some more teasers from episode 7. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, at part 1 of our Playsets and Vehicles conversation. And then I'll tease out some of the best little tidbits from this episode as well. And of course, our big news, thanks to our buddy Jeff, who was able to get everything up on the other channels. I really appreciate that, buddy, for getting all of our podcasts up on the Google Play Store, Apple Music, Spotify, and all that. I don't know if it's on Pandora. I don't know, wherever. Coconut with a string, tin can, whatever you listen to stuff on, it's there. It's there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. I super appreciate it. Be sure to check us out over at Instagram at Across the Toyverse. That's across_the_Toyverse. Vote your favorite poses on our pose offs every week. And Scott and I, we'll catch you in the toy hour.
Laters.